Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my little channel here on the interwebs. That's right. I'm going to be talking about the ugly truth about the vax. I'm not going to talk about the effectiveness of the vax. I'm not even going to talk about the vax itself or the findings from Israel, which is quite interesting, I must say. But no, this has nothing to do with the actual jab itself or the lack of the jab. This is the societal cost about the vax. That's right. But before I go into the details of what I'm talking about, I do have a Twitter poll for Monday. That's right, I did this when I got to work. Should President Biden be impeached or get 25th Amendment with the goal of being removed, even if that means that the current VP takes over? That's right. That means, should the goal of the impeachment be to remove the President of the United States and install the Vice President? It'd be interesting to see how this goes. Right now, there's about 130 votes, with 86% going for yes. And of course, some of the comments are pretty juicy. I'll read those maybe either Thursday or Friday. Depends if I go out to the property. But to the more to the light, and of course, Twitter's gonna do what it's gonna do. This is a from Austin news source. Many Americans are finding it hard to feel bad for those who refuse the vaccine or get the vaccinated and then get sick or even die from COVID-19. Some vaccinated people argue, why give empathy when the unvaxxed folks don't have empathy for everyone else? And of course, the article is pretty interesting. I kind of read through it the other day. Uh, KXAN, as millions of vaccinated Americans look forward to the slivers of normalcy in everyday life, the goalposts of carefree gathering with families and friends have shifted away. Now, what it is we have a government that keeps on moving the goalposts. We have mayors, we have judges, we have school boards that keep on moving the goalposts. As national surge of Delta cases overrun the communities and devastates hospitals. For some, the resentment has been the result of the vaccinated must now reckon with the feeling that they have done everything they can and everything that they're supposed to be doing to quell the pandemic, while seeing others squash their hard work and sacrifices by refusing to follow the COVID safe protocol. I was just reading an article about empathy and why the vaccinated people need to have sympathy for the unvaccinated. While I can see this, I feel like it's missing something fundamental. Unvaxxed folks don't have empathy for everyone else. Keep that in mind. It's. Let me rephrase phrase this. I was reading an article about having empathy and why black people need to have sympathy for the unblack people. While I can see this, I feel like it's missing something fundamental. The unblack folks don't have sympathy for everyone else. See how terrible that sounds? See how terrible that sounds? That sounds very terrible. Driven by misinformation, unintentionally inaccurate or misleading, disinformation and conspiracy theories, purposely inaccurate or misleading, and championing of personal choice, willing COVID 19 vaccinations or vaccines. Opposition is now conceding with the wishing that they believe sooner. In recent months, stories about anti-vaxxers who've gotten sick with the coronavirus keeps popping up. Stories often end with deathbed pleas for the other people to get vaccinated. I mean, the news keeps on doing this fear porn. Now, some of it is fear porn and some of it is based in fact. I am not saying one way or the other when it comes to the vaccination. I'm talking about the ugly truth on society. So, of course, this came over the weekend. Security guard who shot a man 3 times acted in self-defense because the victim wasn't wearing a COVID mask. Lawyer says They're using the defense that since this person's not masked, they felt threatened for his life. A liquor store security guard was acting in self defense when he shot a customer 3 times. The customer was putting other lives at risk by not wearing a mask, the guard's private defense attorney said during a bond hearing on Wednesday. So we've actually crossed the line here. I mean, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Personally, if I see everyone in the store wearing a mask, I might put a mask on. But that's just to make other people feel comfortable. I don't think the mask is working the way that they say they're working. Well, I do agree that masks help prevent the spread, just because it helps prevent the spread of other contaminants or other viruses out there. I don't think it actually, I think it reduces the chance of spread. It doesn't prevent it. But now people are shooting people, claiming self defense because people are not wearing a mask. How is this going to be any different than a person finds out that I'm unvaxxed and they try to shoot me 3 times and saying because I'm unvaxxed, I'm putting other people's at risk? That's not a good self defense argument. And this is the ugly truth. This is the crux of my title of the ugly truth about the vax. The vaccine is turning people against other people. We need to have more empathy, not less empathy. I get there's some people are now allowed to get the vaccinations because of health reasons. There's some people that don't get it because they don't think it's safe. Or they actually see the data, they see the data coming from Israel, and they ask, why bother? Now, I'm not getting into details, and I'm hopefully YouTube doesn't flag this video as misinformation. Because the point is, regardless if you're vaxxed or unvaxxed, you should have empathy for your fellow man. You should have or woman. We are a country of people, and when the people do not respect each other, it creates civil chaos or even civil war chaos. And I don't want to go down that road. And that's the ugly truth about the vax, is that it's turning neighbor against neighbor, family against family. And that's not the way that we should be. We should treat everybody with empathy and sympathy. Maybe if you have a person that's not vaccination, maybe give them data that you saw, and vice versa. The data, and actually have a discourse over it. Actually have a discourse and talk about the differences, why you feel one way or the other. By the way, I am not telling anybody to get the vax or not get the vax. That should be between you and your doctor, or a doctor in my case, since I don't have a doctor. I encourage people to talk, not go and shoot someone 3 times because they're not wearing a mask. That is not a good defense. I mean, what's to stop me from using that excuse whenever I want? Well, if I see someone I don't like, and they just happen not to be wearing a mask, so I've donned my mask on and be like, he's putting the rest of the people back in health, in danger. So I put them down. I don't like this. I don't like the direction this is going. And this is why that's the ugly truth. It's turning people against other people. And I cannot stand that. I cannot stand that. And I hold the media accountable for that. Every time that there's a story, why you shouldn't feel empathy towards these certain group. Every time Don Lemon speaks, saying that the unvaxxed should lose their rights until they get vaxxed. They shouldn't go out to eat. They shouldn't get groceries. They shouldn't be blah, 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 going down the lines. This is not how we are in a society. We treat everyone with respect until they disrespect you. And no, whether you have a vaccination or not a vaccination is not disrespect. It should be a choice between you and your doctor. That's all I'm going to say about the vax. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are. And how did we get past this? And YouTube, please leave this video up. Please, I am not talking about the actual vaccination. I'm talking about the societal effect between the unvax and the vax. And also smash the like and subscribe button. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.